welcome to another tag video. I haven't done a tag video in a while, but since we are now in October, I decided I would have a go at the finally fall book tag, or autumn as I would call it, although I live in a country that calls it fall, so either way. I will leave a playlist of my tag videos linked up here in case you like watching tag videos as much as I do, because I do enjoy a little watch of a tag video. I've seen this tag on various different channels, so I will leave a link to what I hope is the original video in the description box, as well as the questions, because you might want to do this tag video as well. If you feel like doing it, do it, and let me know in the comments that you've done it so I can come and watch, because I love watching a tag. Okay, let's crack on. Question 1. In fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. I'm going to go for a whole series of books for this one, because this setting was created in the first book and has just been added to and developed and become bigger and more sprawling as the series has gone on. And these books can be read as standalone books, or you can read them in order, and that's what I love about this series. And so that is the series written by Heidi Swain. It's not got like a name of a series. This is Sleigh Rides and Silver Bells at the Christmas Fair, which is set in Winthorpe Hall, which is in Winbridge, and the market town of Winbridge, somewhere in the like Norfolk area, is such a vivid setting. I can picture it perfectly. I could, give you directions as to how to get from the market square to Winthorpe Hall. And so I just love this series, and I am reading her latest Christmas book, also set in Winbridge, right now, and just enjoying it so much. Question 2. Nature is beautiful, but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with heavy topics such as loss or grief. I could have picked a whole ton of books for this one, because I think if a book is beautifully written, even if it does deal with that heavy topic, it can be the most amazing book. So I decided to pick If Only I Could Tell You by Hannah Beckerman, which I don't think I've talked about a whole lot here on this channel. But it is a beautifully written book. It is just so gorgeously written. Hannah Beckerman writes just stunning words. And this one deals with kind of a whole cluster of heavy topics, but does so beautifully. And the simple cover, I think, really does do it justice. So highly recommend this one. This is my US copy, but the UK copy has this same gorgeous floral arrangement on the front. But yes, this one definitely sprung to mind for that question. 3. Fall is back to school season. Share a non-fiction book that taught you something new. Every time I read a non-fiction book, I learn something new, and obviously I do enjoy a little bit of non-fiction. So I decided to pick a book that was one of the kind of first non-fiction books I read and loved after having moved on from those whole like university books that you have to read for the essays. And so this was the first non-fiction I enjoyed post that time of my life, and that is How to Be a Woman by Caitlin Moran. This is a cool edition, limited edition, that I picked up at the Strand bookstore in New York, that I was looking for a while. I went there once and we couldn't find it, and I went back again and they had it, and I just think it's glorious. So the original edition was hardback and then I got the paperback and ended up giving both of them away because I love this so much and it just spoke to me, and I read it in one big train journey gulp, and loved it. So that is my recommendation for this one. Then, in order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with people we love. Name a fictional family, household, friend group that you'd like to be part of. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you probably know what friendship group I would like to be part of. And that is, I would love to be friends with Angela, Alex and Jenny and James Jacobs in the I Heart series by Lindsay Kelk. This is I Heart New York, the first book in the series that I got signed at the event for I Heart Hawaii, which was the last book in the series. And I would love to be friends with these guys, and you probably already knew that if you've been watching the channel for a while. So yes, quite an obvious one there. No thought went into that one. Question 5 is, the colourful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of full coloured spines. And I just think that there are a lot of oranges and reds and yellows behind me here. So just take a moment and enjoy the beautiful spines of my bookshelves behind me here. There's a lot of yellow here, some yellow here, yellow here, a lot of red up in the signed book section up here. 4 spines, everybody, 4 spines. Number 6. Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. So I decided to go a little bit off-piste with this one. We're talking about storytelling. We're thinking about bedtime stories, so I wanted to share goodnight stories for rebel girls. This is book 1. There's book 2 as well, and they have a fiction book coming out, I believe, next month. Which is kind of historical fiction, and I am very, very excited for it. But this is non-fiction, and it's literally, you could read these as bedtime stories, 1 or 2 a night, because they are beautiful and they are beautifully illustrated, and I just love them, and I think they're wonderful. So sharing that one for this particular prompt. Then number 7, the nights are getting darker. Share a dark and creepy read. I'm going to be sharing Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, which is one of my favorite all-time thrillers. I have a whole video talking about this one. I have a couple of videos where I talk about thrillers in particular, but I did this one as a standalone video, so I will leave that linked up if you haven't already seen it. But this is read in one sitting, gulped it down. It was awesome. And this is the Canadian version, and I have some other versions here, and I'm actually quoted in the UK paperback version because I love this book just so much. It's wonderful, and it's creepy, and it's dark, and fall returns every year. Oh no, I skipped one, bear with me. The days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. Okay, so the book itself isn't short, but it is a middle grade novel, and so I read it in like a couple of hours, all in one sitting. It's definitely heartwarming, and it will definitely brighten up your cold and rainy day. And this is The Christmasaurus Musical Edition by Tom Fletcher. This one has a CD that comes with it that you pop, and then when the musical note appears in whatever chapter you're reading, which normally when I reference this, I found it, can't find it. It has a little musical note right there. You play the track and it goes with whatever's happening in the book. And you can see it's not a short book, but because it's middle grade and because there's lots of amazing picture pages, it is definitely a quick read. And if you haven't already checked this one out, definitely do. I have the Creakers of his, which is just here somewhere, musical edition as well, which I need to read. And just kind of picking this one for this prompt, I'm like, I'm going to read this one again this Christmas, definitely. So I might do the Creakers, and this one is a kind of back-to-back, maybe November, December time, to get me in the festive spirit. Now, question 9. Fall returns every year. Name an old favourite that you'd like to return to soon. I have done an awful lot of rereading this year, and it has been an absolute pleasure. And I have just finished my reread of the Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella, ready for Christmas Shopaholic coming out next week. It's next week. I'm so excited. I have pre-ordered the Waterston's special edition, which will be going to my mum, and then my mum will be bringing it here, well, not here to Denver, but here when we meet to go to Disney World at the end of the month. And so I'm very excited about having it, but I've also pre-ordered every format of the book basically, so I will be able to listen to it upon release day. Yes, I'm so excited for this one, and I've enjoyed my reread so much. So for this one, I have picked Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella, which has just been released as a movie. Doesn't seem to be in any movie theatres anywhere near me. I think it's had a very limited release, so I'm going to have to try and find this one on some sort of streaming service somewhere so that I can read the book, watch the movie, and then bring you a book versus movie video very soon. But rereading the Shopaholic series made me want to reread this one, and I also really want to reread 20s Girl, because I think that's probably my favourite standalone non-Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella. So I'm thinking I'll reread this one and possibly squeeze in 20s Girl by the end of the year. However, I have another author that I really want to start rereading this year, so that might have to wait until next year. We'll see, but that's my pick for this one. And then finally, fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favourite cozy reading accessories. Well, if you have watched any of my reading vlogs, I just posted one on Wednesday, which I will leave linked up here, or will have already left linked. You will know that I do like a bit of cozy reading. I like reading in the bath, I like reading in bed, I like reading under a blanket, any kind of cozy reading with like soft furnishings around me or warm water is always nice. But you know as well, I love to have my cup of coffee while I'm reading, or my cup of tea, and for that, again, if you've been following the channel in a while, you know that I subscribed to Enchanted Fandom's monthly drinking vessel box, and so it has to be my Enchanted Fandom's mugs. I love having these. I have two here right now. This is the latest one, which you'll have seen in my unboxing. If not, I will leave it linked up here. And this is the one that my coffee is currently in right now. And I love them, and they are the perfect reading accessory because they are fandom related. I mean, this one is the Grishaverse and this one is the Chronicles of Narnia. Amazing. Love the inside of this one, and I love the shape of both of these, and they're also different, and they are definitely my ultimate cozy reading accessory, because even if I'm not reading in a cozy setting because it's too hot outside or something, I can have my cozy cup of coffee, or my pumpkin spice, or my hot chocolate, or my cup of tea, my Yorkshire tea, in one of these. So definitely answer to this one. My Enchanted Fandom mugs. I will leave my discount code for Enchanted Fandom in the description box below in case you fancy having a look at some of their awesome bookish mugs and glassware as well. You can fit quite a decent sized glass of wine in their glasses, let me tell you. And then finally, spread the autumn appreciation by tagging someone to do this. As I said, if you haven't already done this tag, do go ahead and do it, and let me know in the comments below. If you have done it, leave your link and I will come and watch it and leave your comments back. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any alternate answers for any of the questions that I have covered here, again, do let me know in the comments. Always happy to hear about feel-good reads or books with vivid settings or creepy books. Always love seeing more recommendations. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed so that my next video, which will be my movie reviews video on Sunday, lands in your subscription feed. I'll be back on Sunday with my movie reviews, and I will be back next week with some more video content for you. So I will see you then. Bye.